All right, next we're going to talk about index match, and then we're going to see how this stacks up against XLOOKUP. Shrink this back up. I've got this list of characters and home planets from Star Wars. I found this on some website. But what we're going to do is we're going to type in the index in order to get the planet and the name of the character. So right now I'm on index 4 and it's pulling up Yoda. Well, you'll notice that Yoda's on row 5. This isn't looking at the row, it's looking at the index of the data set that we're looking at, which is this. So if we start here, 1 would be Anakin and Thrawn would be 16. So we type in 1 and we get Anakin, we do 16 and we get Thrawn. Let's take a look at the formula for this. So we're going to do index A through A17 using G2 as our lookup. So if I just select it, you can see that that's exactly what it's doing. It's looking at 16 and then it's finding that index out of here and it's going to report back whatever that index number is supposed to be for. So in this case, 16 is Thrawn. If we come down here and look at the planet, it's a slightly different version of the same formula. So instead of looking at just column A, we're looking at both A and B. We're still using G2 as our index number, and we're outputting the number 2 over here is the row that we're going to output. So if we had multiple rows, like 3 or 4, you could put in there, 3 or 4. Or if you wanted to go back and choose 1, you could do that. So now it's Thrawn. Well, Greg, that's great, but I don't, know the index of whatever's in my range. So next, we're going to type in the name, and we'll get the index. So in this case, we typed in Yoda, and we got 4. Let's type in Han Solo, and we get 7. This formula is using match. So let's break this down. So match G7, which is what we inputted. We're going to look in the range A2 through A17, and the 0 over here is the match type. So this is going to be as an exact match or not. I want it to be exact, so 0 is the one that I want to use. Well, that's nice, but I don't think the index is real helpful. All right, so let's combine both index and match. And so we'll type in a name, we'll do Han Solo again, and we get Corellium. So let's take a look. What we're doing is we're using both formulas so that we can just type out what we want. So in this one, we're using match to begin with, which is in the index's place, if we go back to the original formula. So we're doing match from G11, which is where we typed in Han Solo. We're looking from A2 to A17. And we're returning an exact match. So we type in Han Solo, it gets us back the index, which is 7. Then next, it's looking at the index. So I've got my index number 7 here, and we're going to be looking through the home planets, B2 through B17, and we're going to return the first column, which is the column we're on. Or we could exclude the comma 1 and not use it at all. So let's do that. And you can see it's the same thing as... So either way. Now that's nice, but if we combine this with a data validation dropdown, I can just select someone, and then from there it just looks at the planet. So it's the same formula. We're just using the data validation to help us, so we don't have to type in master mace window. Now here's something that's pretty cool, and we can do with match and index, and we're going to do this with XLOOKUP as well. We have this set of data, which is multiple columns, so we're going to look and try to get the price for this combination. If the combination doesn't match, then it'll come up with an error message. So we have some glass cups. We have 4 of them. They're clear and they're 10. So we've got glass cups, 4 clear, and they're 10. So let's do the same thing but with something else. So we're going to do plastic cups. And you can see there's no clear plastic cups in our list. We got plastic yellow, we have plastic pink, but we don't have any clear ones. So let's change this to pink, and now we get a price of $6.50, which is this one. It's plastic 4, pink is $6.50. We can also do this with our our cups and plates. Cups and plates, plastic, 4 pink, and we get 12. If we change this to yellow, we don't have any quantity of 4 that are in yellow, so we would put here NA. Now let's take a look at this formula. And here is what we got. So this looks pretty complex, but let's break this down. Starting with match, which is right here, we are looking for the match of all 3 columns. So we start off on typing, here we're going to type in G21. We're looking that up in this field. So we're looking in the A column for G21. For G22, we're looking in the B column, and G23, we're looking in the C column. Once it finds the match across all 3, then it uses that to look up the index, and we want to find the price, so in the D column. Let's change this to 2, and then we get $10. Now we can do the exact same thing. These 3 fields are the exact same. They're just data validation drop-downs. But here we're using X lookup instead. So let's change this to plastic. And you can see plastic cups for pink are $6.50. There it is right there. So this X lookup is almost the same, but slightly easier to do, so you don't have the word match in here. But it's the same formula that we're using. So if we're looking at G29, we're looking up the A column. In G30, we're looking up the B column. And G31, we're looking up the C column. After it comes up with that, then it looks up the price from the D column and gives us that. So that's how you can use either X lookup or index and match to do a multi-lookup across a more complex data range.